Before you go.
Don't disrespect
No,
me.
no, no, no. Designation card. I want to see his designation card. I want to see his designation card. No, 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 no. You wind your neck in. Off you trot, little piggies.
Welcome to Raw Audit Reviews, the channel dedicated to examining public authority actions and bringing transparency to situations that unfold in real time. Here, we carefully review encounters involving officials and highlight moments where accountability truly matters. Our goal is simple: to inform viewers and encourage awareness of public rights and professional conduct. Today's featured footage comes from the creator Audit Ed, whose original video link is available in the description below. Be sure to visit their channel to watch the complete recording and support independent journalism that focuses on public interest reporting. Content like this helps open discussions about rights, responsibilities, and lawful boundaries in public spaces. I end this episode. Events take place outside Trowbridge Police Station, where a journalist peacefully arrives to document activity using a camera. What begins as a routine recording quickly turns into an unexpected confrontation. Within moments, several officers approach and begin issuing instructions that immediately raise questions about authority and procedure. However, this situation takes an interesting turn. The individual filming remains calm and confident, relying on his understanding of legal rights and public access laws. As the interaction unfolds, viewers witness a moment where knowledge and preparation begin to shift the entire tone of the encounter. What follows is a real-time example of how awareness of the law can change the direction of a situation. Stay with us as we break down the event step by step and examine how this encounter develops right before everyone's eyes. Let's move directly into today's footage and see how it all plays out.
What is it?
Any particular reason filming the police station?
Excuse me. Is that the way you approach a member of the public around here?
Yeah, normally.
Alright, well I'm not going to be speaking to you then.
I'm
Well, what's going on here?
just asking why you're filming.
Because I can. What's your name and number?
First of all,
No, 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 not. I'm not going to speak to you. Do you want to identify yourself?
I don't have to identify myself.
Do you want to identify yourself?
You're filming a police station.
Yeah, you identify yourself there. 2541 Jenkins. Yeah? Okay, so the reason I'm filming the police station today is because I can.
Okay.
Yeah.
We were just coming out to see if you needed any assistance.
Not at all. I'm outside the police station. If I needed assistance, I would have gone in.
Okay, no problem. That's fine.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Alright,
We were just coming out to make sure you're okay.
that's fine. I'm fine. You're dismissed now.
You don't dismiss me.
I actually do. You're a
No.
public servant. I'm a member of the public.
Take a moment to observe how this encounter begins to unfold. Before any conversation even starts, officers quickly move into position, spreading out in a way that effectively surrounds the auditor. The approach appears coordinated, creating pressure from the very first seconds, rather than opening with calm communication or simple dialogue. The officers explain their presence by saying they are only checking whether assistance is needed. On the surface, that sounds reasonable and professional. However, situations like this are often viewed as an indirect method of initiating questioning without clear legal grounds. What seems helpful can sometimes function as an attempt to gather information without stating an actual concern. Now pay close attention to the auditor's reaction. Instead of engaging emotionally or becoming defensive, he immediately shifts the focus toward accountability. He calmly requests identification from the officers, reinforcing a key principle of transparency during public interactions. This response changes the balance of a conversation almost instantly. When the male officer declines to properly identify himself, it raises serious concerns about professional standards. According to established policing ethics guidelines, officers are expected to remain open and accountable while exercising authority. Requesting compliance from a member of the public while withholding one's own identification creates an obvious contradiction in professional conduct. Then comes the defining moment of the exchange. The auditor states, "You're dismissed." While it may sound confrontational at first hearing, the statement carries legal significance rather than personal disrespect. In simple terms, it communicates that no assistance is required and no lawful detention has been established. Legal precedent makes this point clear. Without reasonable suspicion of wrongdoing, an individual is free to continue their activity without interference. The auditor is effectively reminding the officers that their authority has limits under the law. What viewers witness next is a visible shift in atmosphere. as confidence rooted in legal knowledge meets an attempt at unnecessary control. The expressions on the officers' faces tell their own story. The momentum of authority suddenly slows when confronted with calm, informed resistance. In that moment, the situation transforms from an attempted show of control into a reminder that public power must always operate within lawful boundaries.
What's your name?
I think you're fine with Crown Servants, so you need to get your facts right.
I think we need
Excuse
to
me?
take some details off you. What's your name?
What crime do you suspect me of committing?
Well, at the moment you're filming a police station.
What crime do you
okay?
suspect me of committing?
No, listen.
I am listening. What crime?
You're filming a police station.
What crime do you suspect
okay?
me of committing?
And at the moment, for security purposes.
What crime do you suspect me of committing?
Hold on a
What
second.
crime do you suspect me of
Well,
committing?
at the moment, you're filming the police station.
And what crime is
okay?
that?
I don't know what your reasons are. For
Sir, we go on
filming
what we
inside.
do know, not what we don't. So what crime do you suspect me of committing? Could you please articulate legislation? If you're not going to articulate legislation, this conversation is over.
Okay, that's fine. If you don't want to talk to us,
Yeah.
that's
So I told you, you
But
are
there's
dismissed.
There's obviously you don't need to say that, do you?
Well, I'm
Right.
saying it.
The reason that I'm speaking to you is because you're filming the.
I don't
inside
care. You
police
haven't
station.
identified yourself, so I'm
Yeah,
not going to
I'm
speak to you.
PC 2808.
So now you want to identify
Okay.
yourself.
This is the point where the officer's reasoning begins to fall apart under simple questioning. The auditor asks a direct and legally important question, one that immediately shifts the focus of the interaction. He calmly requests clarification. What specific offense am I suspected of committing? It's a straightforward question, yet it demands a clear and lawful answer. Watch closely as the officer attempts to respond. Instead of identifying an actual violation, he references general security concerns and mentions the act of filming near a police facility. The explanation moves from one justification to another, suggesting uncertainty rather than confidence. Multiple reasons are offered, but none clearly establish wrongdoing. Here's the critical issue. Police authority to stop or question someone is not based on discomfort or personal suspicion alone. Under established procedural standards, officers must rely on reasonable and clearly explainable grounds connected to a recognizable offense. Without that foundation, enforcement powers simply do not activate. As the exchange continues, the officer is repeatedly unable to identify a specific crime despite being asked several times. This moment becomes highly significant because it highlights the absence of lawful justification. When no clear allegation can be stated, the legitimacy of the intervention itself comes into question. What viewers are witnessing is an attempt to justify an already made decision rather than respond to an actual incident. The tension appears to stem less from unlawful behavior and more from discomfort with public observation. Situations like this raise broader discussions about transparency, public recording, and the limits of official authority. Ultimately, the encounter demonstrates an important principle. Authority must always be supported by lawful reasoning, not assumption or frustration. When clear legal grounds are missing, even routine interactions can quickly become examples of how accountability and public awareness reshape the outcome in real time.
Your policy says you have to at the beginning, all right?
Right.
Now I'll
You're
see your
also-
warrant card
you're
also.
You're also.
Show me your warrant
No,
card.
Hold on a second.
End of conversation.
suspicious.
Not at all. It's
Hang on,
listen,
wait a
you are
minute.
not even a police constable. I suggest you hush your gums.
Why-
You need to
why-
wind your
why-
neck in.
Oh, I need to wind my neck in.
Yeah.
Okay, so having my
Why are you
neck
filming-
wound out is a crime, is it?
Why
Yes,
do
it
I
is.
need
Is it?
to
What
wind
crime?
Being
inside
arrogant
the
and
police
I'm not being
Quite
arrogant.
disrespectful,
Listen,
it is.
and you're not being disrespectful to me right now by running your mouth at me.
How do I know?
Who do you think you are?
How do I know what you're doing? I don't understand what
You
you're doing.
listen, do you need to know?
At this moment in time, you're suspected for a terrorism offence.
Oh, section 43?
Because
Section 43?
You're filming inside.
Is that section 43?
You're filming inside the
Is
police
that
station.
section 43?
You're filming inside.
Is that section 43?
interrupting
I'm
me.
asking you,
You're
constable.
filming
I'm asking you,
inside of a
constable.
police
I'm not going to
station.
speak to you anymore. Is it section
Why are you-
43?
why are you filming
Is it
a police station
Is it
for?
because I can?
Well, at the moment, like I say, you can't.
Could you, if you want to articulate legal legislation that says I can't, then I will. Let's wind it in. Let's wind it in. I'm going to ask you a specific question. What you just said there in regards to the terrorism, yeah, are you talking about section 43?
I'm talking about somebody.
No. Sections. Legislation, please. Let's talk legislation.
I don't need to talk legislation.
Do you know
The
it?
reason that we're
If you're not
here-
going to talk legislation, this is over.
As the conversation continues and earlier explanations fail to justify the stop, the situation suddenly escalates. The officers introduce a far more serious concern, referencing national security. In encounters like this, such references often carry significant weight because they immediately change the tone of the discussion and place psychological pressure on the person involved. However, the auditor remains composed and well-informed. Rather than reacting emotionally, he refers directly to Section 43 of the Terrorism Act, demonstrating a clear understanding of how the law is meant to function. He points out an essential legal distinction. The legislation requires an officer to reasonably suspect involvement in terrorist activity itself, not simply label behavior as unusual or uncomfortable. This distinction matters greatly. Legal powers connected to national security are among the strongest authorities available to law enforcement, and they are intended for specific, clearly justified circumstances. They cannot be applied broadly or used as a precaution simply because someone is recording in a public place. One of the most striking moments comes when the officer states that he does not need to discuss legislation. From a legal standpoint, that statement raises serious concerns. In the United Kingdom, enforcement authority is grounded entirely in statutory law, meaning officers must be able to explain the legal basis behind their actions when challenged appropriately. The auditor's response highlights a wider issue about rights and freedoms, referencing security powers without clearly demonstrating lawful justification risks interfering with protections related to freedom of expression and public journalism. Viewers are left watching a tense exchange where legal knowledge directly challenges uncertain authority. What unfolds here appears less like a confirmed security concern and more like a high-pressure attempt to regain control of the situation. The encounter becomes a powerful reminder that strong legal powers require equally strong justification, and when that justification is missing, informed citizens can bring clarity back into the conversation.
I'm asking you why you filming a police station.
If you articulate a crime which says that I am at liberty to give you that, listen, you just asked me a question.
For the camera, this gentleman is pointing a camera into a police station.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
there's obviously cause for concern.
What
for
cause
that.
for concern?
Well, because of the security.
Articulate
of the police
crime.
station.
No, listen. Articulate a crime to me. What? From who? From who?
From all kinds of
From who?
things. Any
what are you talking about? Be specific.
behaviour.
I'm being specific with
Anything
you.
that looks out of place. That's
What's
how we
what's
work.
out of place?
A person that.
All right, so I'll tell you what I'm doing.
Filming
I'll tell you what I'm doing.
inside
I'll tell you
the
what I'm doing.
compound.
I'll tell you what I'm doing. I'm making a story. I'm an investigative journalist, and I'm gathering content for a story. Okay, there's my reason.
And that's what we're trying to find out.
Yeah, we just told you. I didn't have to tell you,
Yeah.
but I did.
So that's what I'm asking.
No.
I'm not threatening you or
Yeah,
anything.
but
like that, the way
but
you
listen,
were
no,
talking, we were threatening you.
because you're doing exactly what thousands of police officers do in this country. Okay, you come up to somebody expecting them not to know the law, and you start throwing accusations and shit like that around at them.
That you didn't know
Yes, you
the
did.
law.
You came out.
You're assuming that
Man,
I'm
you.
thinking that you're
What
an
is your
idiot, and I'm
issue?
not saying
But then
that.
why won't you let me finish speaking?
Because you're not allowed to speak.
You weren't.
But I don't have to let you speak.
We were
We don't
asking.
have to let you speak.
But then go away. Go back in and do some actual police work.
As a journalist, surely you should know by asking a
just
question,
listen.
you should get an answer.
Do you suspect me of a crime?
Well, at the moment,
And can you answer yes or no?
I'm a bit
Do-
concerned as to why you're pointing a camera into
Is
a police
concern a
station.
crime, sir?
What?
Do you suspect me of a?
like I said-
Do you suspect me of a crime?
Like I say, I'm trying to find out from you
Do
why
you,
you're pointing a camera
do
into a
you
police
suspect
station.
me of a crime?
Well, at the moment, it's a bit suspicious that you're pointing a camera
Is
into a police
suspicion
station.
is suspicion a crime?
No, it's an inquiry.
Okay,
that
no,
will carry
okay, no,
out.
no, 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 no. I don't need the cops explaining bit. Let's talk facts. Is suspicion a crime?
Well, no, not.
No,
at the
okay,
moment.
stop then.
This is the decisive turning point of the encounter, the moment where the entire discussion comes down to one simple question. The auditor calmly asks whether suspicion alone qualifies as a criminal offense. It's a direct question that leaves very little room for interpretation, and the officer is placed in a difficult position. The response becomes unavoidable. The officer acknowledges that suspicion by itself is not a crime. In any society governed by law, enforcement action must rely on observable facts and identifiable offenses, not personal impressions or assumptions. Simply appearing unusual or attracting attention does not meet the legal standard required for intervention. The auditor then reinforces another key principle. Recording in a public space is, in itself, a lawful activity. Members of the public and journalists regularly document public buildings and officials, and such actions fall within established rights unless clear unlawful conduct is present. This clarification further weakens the justification for continued questioning. As earlier explanations lose ground, one final argument is introduced. concerns related to public order. However, legal thresholds for offenses involving harassment or distress require behavior that goes far beyond disagreement or verbal frustration. Expressing criticism or dismissing interaction, while perhaps unwelcome, does not automatically amount to unlawful conduct. At this stage, the outcome becomes clear. The officers choose to disengage and return inside the station. The withdrawal signals that no enforceable grounds remain to continue the encounter. What began as an assertive intervention concludes quietly once legal limits are fully recognized. The broader takeaway is difficult to miss. The officers approached expecting routine compliance, yet the interaction evolved into a practical lesson on rights, procedure, and accountability. Moments like this often serve as real-world examples of how informed dialogue can reshape authority-based encounters and highlight the importance of lawful decision-making in public service.
Okay, stop then. Okay, just, yes you do. But do you suspect I'm about to commit a crime?
You can.
But if you don't know, why are you here speaking to me? Because it's policing by consent, isn't it? Is it not policing by consent? Okay, so when I'm asking you questions to try to understand why you're accosting me and you refuse to answer the question, you are, because I'm just a normal member of the public. Yes.
You're just trying to get
No, I'm not. I'm not.
So just let me speak.
I don't care what you have to say.
Okay,
How about
that's
that?
fine.
Jog on.
That's
Off your trot.
Don't-
There's snout going on around
rude
you.
now.
Is rudeness a crime?
Yourself look silly
No, but
because
you're-
Is rudeness a crime?
You're being rude to
Public
us.
order
We
is.
don't have
Huh?
to engage
Public
with you.
order
If you
is.
just want
Yeah, public order. But am I using excessive words or behaviour? So then don't listen. You don't even know what. Before you go.
Don't disrespect
No,
me.
no, no, no. Designation card. I want to see his designation card. I want to see his designation card. No, 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 no. You wind your neck in, off your trot, little piggies. Peppa Pig. Peppa Pig. Pigs. Bullies. Bullies. Bullies.
What unfolded outside Trial Bridge today serves as a powerful example of public accountability in action. The encounter demonstrated how quickly situations can escalate when authority is exercised without clearly established legal grounds. An attempt was made to justify intervention using serious security concerns, yet those claims ultimately failed to stand up to lawful scrutiny. The incident highlights an important lesson. When enforcement decisions rely more on assumption than verifiable evidence, public trust can quickly be placed under strain. Laws are designed to protect both public safety and individual freedoms, and maintaining that balance requires careful adherence to procedure at every stage of an interaction. As viewers, moments like this encourage discussion about training, awareness, and professional standards. If you believe situations like these show the need for stronger legal understanding and improved communication, share your thoughts by supporting the video and joining the conversation in the comments below. Public dialogue plays an important role in improving transparency. Perhaps the most important takeaway is this: the outcome changed because the auditor understood his legal rights and communicated them calmly. Knowledge made the difference. Many people may find themselves unsure of the rules surrounding public filming or stop and search powers, and uncertainty can often lead to unnecessary compliance. That is why understanding legal protections matters. Being informed helps individuals respond confidently and respectfully during official encounters. To help viewers better understand these topics, a detailed Know Your Rights guide has been prepared, explaining key procedures and public recording laws in clear, simple language accessible to everyone. If you want to strengthen your awareness and better understand how these situations work, you can find the guide through the link provided in the description. Staying informed remains one of the most effective ways to ensure interactions remain fair and lawful. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again in the next episode as we continue examining real-world encounters and the lessons they reveal.